Hey everyone, what if I told you that there was a gathering at Siggraph, a conference within the conference, if you will, where all of the elite and smartest people get together in a room for a whole day? Would you want to go to that? Let's talk about it right now on A Cup of Joe. This is where I ask, just take a moment right now, look below at the subscribe button, give it a click, and let's move on with the rest of the video. Let's talk about DigiPro. DigiPro is a conference within the Siggraph conference. It actually happens the Sunday before all of the conference events take place. It happens in a hotel, and this year it's in downtown Vancouver, and it's an elite group of some of the smartest pipeline and tool developers within the whole visual effects and animation organization. DigiPro is a full day of talks and networking, like a super condensed Siggraph, all dedicated to digital production technology. The audience is limited to 350 people, and it's generally made up of all the VFX and animation technology supervisors, leads, senior engineers, TDs, CTOs, CG supervisors. The cool thing is that there's a curated content for one room. Everyone watches the same live talks with Q&As. This year's keynote is by ImageWorks' Mike Ford and Nikki Lavender, and it's entitled Stylized Filmmaking: How Fearless and Naive Thinking Drives Innovation. There's a detailed program in the link below at digiproconf.org, and the whole day starts off with a breakfast, and then, everyone registers and does a meet and greet. It includes a lunch, coffee breaks. It wraps up with a reception and an award show at the end, and you even get a t-shirt for going. The fact that it's in one place, in one room, on a weekend, makes it a much more relaxing event and a good networking event to walk around and talk to people. You have time to chat. There's space to chat. There's the eating areas and drinks. It's always tough at Siggraph when you try to run around to go to different scheduled events happening in different portions of the facilities, maybe sometimes down at the hotels. Sometimes you have to meet with vendors. It's also crazy and harried that it's really tough to just have a moment to listen, learn, talk, and that's what DigiPro allows. There's a lot of people who go to DigiPro and don't even go to Siggraph or just go to the first day or two. They'll fly in for the weekend, make sure they attend DigiPro, and they'll see Siggraph as a secondary addendum to their event. Really, DigiPro is the big focus for their arrival. The talented folks who run DigiPro work really hard at creating a well-curated program that covers everything from artist tools to pipeline and rendering issues to how to render on the cloud. It's a wide range of technical issues. There's usually some really cutting edge new way of thinking that's presented in some of these. Nobody knows it all, and that's a really great part about it too, is there's a humble wonder that people will have about the areas that maybe they're not well trained in, but they find just as fascinating as the areas that they came to focus on. It's a wonderful place to learn, and I recommend that everyone who's going to Siggraph, if they're in a technical field at all or have any interest in the technical side of filmmaking and visual effects and animation, they should really think about spending a couple extra $100 for this very specific pass that gets you to DigiPro. You don't even have to go to Siggraph. It can be difficult for some of these folks to actually get away from the studio for the full week during Siggraph, and this affords them a nice Sunday to sit back and really soak in a full program of curated events. In my opinion, if you only went to DigiPro and skipped Siggraph, you would still leave Siggraph week with a head full of ideas and new ways to think about how to solve problems in visual effects and animation. So think of it as a very concentrated, a very well-paced Siggraph event, all wrapped up into just one day. This year, they're also partnering with the Pipeline Conference. The Pipeline Awards are going to happen at the end of the day, and they're hosted by DigiPro before the reception, and all the DigiPro attendees get access to the Pipeline Conference virtual events that are happening later in August 23rd. So virtual event attendees will get access to the DigiPro talks, as well as the live talks, and a lot of the recorded events that are happening at the Pipeline Conference virtual event. Make sure you go to digiproconf.org, register soon. They are going to run out of slots. It's already filling up. DigiPro 22 is taking place Sunday, August 7th at the Fairmont Hotel. You can register at digiproconf.org, and I recommend you register as soon as possible. It's going to fill up. It generally fills up every year. They run out of tickets. Once they hit 350 people, they cap it off, and that keeps it contained, it keeps it manageable, and it makes all of the events much more intimate, and you're able to actually sit and meet and talk with people. I can't recommend DigiPro enough, and if you have any questions about it, drop them into the comments. I'm happy to answer them. I know some of the folks who are running it are going to be looking at this video, so they'll see your comments and they might be able to directly address your questions. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you at DigiPro.